Hey, welcome to Undrafted Hockey Fan. I'm Brad. Just wanted to go over the Calgary Flames and their season preview. I apologize. We're going to the season preview of the Calgary Flames. It's exciting because I'm actually looking at what they have going on, and I think there's a very exciting potential for the Calgary Flames. And I'm going to go over the season preview, but I also want to go over something like their future because I'm not mad about their future. But I'm a little excited about it. I actually got myself kind of excited about it. Look at some of the stats. And mind you, I just started looking at the Calgary Flames, so I'm really kind of interested on what your guys' thoughts are. So if you have any thoughts on this, hit like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going through all 32 teams. I've gone through Winnipeg all the way up to Calgary now, and so if you like any of those teams, then check those videos out. If not, subscribe. If you're not a fan of those teams, you're a fan of someone that's I haven't yet gone over, subscribe, and you'll get the video for it. So let's jump right into this. And I want to jump over to their playoffs real quick because you can see right here that right here the 93 points is where the Calgary Flames were. So, and they were only 2 points away from getting in the playoffs, with Winnipeg Jets having 95 points. And honestly, if the Calgary Flames played in the Eastern Conference, they would have been in the playoffs because you could see 92 points for the Florida Panthers. So they would have beat out the Florida Panthers if that was the case. And of course, that is not, unfortunately. But again, one of the things I'm really excited about with Calgary Flames is that I think there is some potential here. So they'll have to waive someone right here. The one thing I have an issue is that they only have 21 guys in the roster. So you have to put out a full team. So you will either have to waive someone or not play them. I imagine just be one of these smaller guys. It's not a big deal, not a huge deal. So, but I think there's a lot of good turnover, and it's kind of exciting. So just to give you a quick, because I don't know a ton of these stats, and I'm going to go to Backlund real quick just because I'm curious on his stats and everything. And 56 points in 82 games. I mean, if he wants to stick around, great, but he's got to take a cheaper contract being that he's 34 and everything. So, but it's really interesting. So I think they have a really interesting setup where they can do this. So, because they're not old. They're in there like young, and they have some good guys coming up. So you can see like a lot of their guys they're below, like either 30 or below. Kadri and Huberdeau, those are going to be your veterans in my opinion. Again, and so this is by the way, let's go over the Calgary Flames and what their season preview is, and then we'll go over what I think is going to happen with them and what they should be doing. Right? So they knew Tyler Toffoli was not going to be he's not going to be re-signing here. They got Igor Sharangovich in a third-round pick. Terrible deal. Toffoli is like a 40 goal scorer, I believe. I can't believe they got. I mean, he's almost He's probably will be a 40 goal scorer. He could be. If he gets on the power play this year, he definitely could be. 34 goals, 73 points. I mean, that's phenomenal. Man, I am bummed for them. I think he won a cup with the Kings this year as well. So, let's see. Yeah, right here. 2013, I believe it was. So, anyways, Toffoli, that was a terrible deal. I don't know why they made that. I think it was just because they knew he wasn't going to be there. I would have just kept him around, honestly, in my opinion, but they decided to move him. So they got Igor Sharangovich. So, and nothing crazy on the contracts. Nothing really, honestly, they let a lot of guys go, didn't really make any trades. They made the draft picks, they made their first round draft picks. They didn't sign anyone. So I'm going to go over the lines real quick. You have Matthew Coronado, who's one of their prospects that is coming up. I do think he will be up as well. I signed Jordan Osterley. I mean, he played for the Red Wings for a bit last year. Going over this, I mean, the lines, let's be honest. Let's just go straight. Let me just talk to you straight, Calgary fans. You didn't do that. You did okay. I think that the reason I'm going to have this honesty with you is I think you guys have a lot of potential. I actually am a little bit excited for the Flames. And I'm going to go, I think season preview, I think that they could make the playoffs. I think that this isn't the year to go all in, though. I think you keep for first round draft picks, you keep all your draft picks, make little moves here and there, set a fifth round, fourth round out of there, maybe even a third round to get a guy. But overall, don't make any crazy big moves. You definitely need to shore up some things. But again, I think most of these things, I think I'm kind of excited to see what they do next season because I think there's a lot of potential. And I'm going to tell you why right now. So let's go over to their cap friendly as well. I think, in my opinion, this is my opinion, by the way. And Flames fans, let me know if I'm way off in thinking this. I think you sign Lindholm. Maybe you don't do the 8. I mean, if you do the 8, hopefully it takes a little bit less, right? If you can get him 7, that'd be probably better because then 7 takes him up to his, till he's 30, 36, right? Because he'll be 29 this year. So that may take him to his 36. So that is old, right? And so mind you, you got some of these guys are going to be older when they play with Huberdeau and Kadri. But you have them, just deal with it, right? So my thought is you let Backlund go, or you try and sign him to something light. I don't think you make him captain. I think you make Elias Lindholm captain if he wants to stay inside the long-term deal. You got Coleman, who's fine. I can't believe they paid him this much for this long. That's not a great deal. So that's one of your bummer deals that you might need I don't know what the buyout looks like on that, or if you can move him, but that is something that I'd be open to. Sharangovich, young, prove-it deal, a little expensive for him, in my opinion, but I like the deal in Dubé. But I think you move out Backlund unless he can come back cheap. I think you move out Tanev. I think you move out Zadorov. And I think you trade Hanifin if you can. But he has an 18 no trade clause, so that's that's like the California teams plus 6, so some California teams and the Canadian teams. I mean, so like there's a lot of options for Hanifin as well. I think Hanifin played really well though. I think that's the issue with trading Hanifin. I think he's one of the better defensemen. So 38 points in 81 games. Again, I think I think you'd like to keep him, but I don't know if there's enough conviction around him at this point. So I would trade and flip him. Because to me, you have a couple of the younger guys that are coming up. By the way, you genuinely do, right? You have Dan Vladar played so well as their goalie, and Markstrom, of course, is Markstrom, so he has the capability to play well. But of course, in the wind, you have Dustin Wolf, one of the best AHL goalies. I think he won AHL goalie of the year twice or something like that. So he's ready for the NHL at this point. So there is talks Dan Vladar going to Colorado. So we'll see if that ends up happening, which would be sweet for them, right? Open up a spot. I mean, this is why I'm more excited. Hi, buddy. This is my cat, by the way. This is Oliver. He wants to say hi. So, but I think this is why it makes me more excited about what's happening next year. I think this year you try for the playoffs. I think this year's the development year. But I was looking at some of your guys' prospects. I like the Samuel Honzek pick. I looked at, who else was I looking at? There's a second round in here, a third round. I think this guy right here. I think there's some good prospects here. There's a defenseman that played really well. Jeremy Portier. Like there's some good prospects here that I think you guys can be excited about. And of course you can make trades and everything, but I'm kind of excited about it. If we look, I had to look at some of the stats again, but of course Oliver, you poor baby, you're on IR. So sorry about that, guys. But I think, and then you keep him around. He's young. You re-sign him. He's 26 years old. He's gonna want a big deal. So hopefully he has the capability to come back and perform. But I think you guys can do a really good turnaround. I think you guys got some established people here. Maybe you want to make, I don't know if you make Huberdeau captain. The issue was last year you guys had a really bad year with Huberdeau going down. Going down in the sense that his point totals were, for lack of a better term, if you were to say this in French, they were les shit, to say the least. No, they were les shit. He went from 115 points, 55 points, I believe. Everyone keeps saying this, but it was the biggest drop in points year on year. And he played the same amount of games, essentially. So half the goals, less than half the assists. So get your shit together, Huberdeau. But you can see how he's capable of 92 points here. I mean, like, he's very, very capable winger. And then you have your center depth, right? So your center depth is going to be, let's go over to your right here. So you have Elias Lindholm, you have Nazem Kadri. I get Backlund he'll have him around, play him out to the end of the season. If he wants to stay, great. If not, no big deal. Move him out. And then I think there's again, you have one of your prospects that I was looking at. There was a center right here, Connor Zachary. I looked at his stats in the AHL. I'm pretty sure they were pretty good. Yeah, 58 points, 62 games, 72 games. Okay, there you go. Boom. Right. So now you go to the lines right here. So then you put him on the third line instead of Backlund. I mean, right there. I mean, it's just, this makes so much sense. There's a lot of good parts here. You have Matt Coronado is really good, right? Dylan Dubé is underrated. Nazem Kadri's great, a little expensive. I mean, Kadri's fine. Huber is way overpaid, unfortunately. Of course, in his contract year, he did very well. Set the record for most points by a left winger. But I think you guys have, the nice thing is about the Calgary Flames, and I'm going to wrap this up actually. The nice thing with the Calgary Flames is that you guys have there's potential here. You guys have some good pieces that can play elite, right? You have a Huberdeau. Elias Lindholm is probably going to be looking for that 8.5 to 9 year, $9 million contract. And in my opinion, I think he might deserve it. Let's go. I'm going to go over to his contract real quick, and I'll let you know. So if you're looking at Elias Lindholm, go into his numbers, and mind you, he plays center. So center, you definitely have to pay a little bit more for a guy like Elias Lindholm. But what I keep hearing is that you're going to get more of the Bo Horvat or Dylan Larkin trade, or Dylan Larkin to Bo Horvat numbers, right? I think Larkin ended up being like 8.7. Bo Horvat is 8.5. So if you're looking at his contract right here, you got 64 points in 80 games. So that's pretty great. 82 and 82. I mean, so you're looking at, easy 3 points every 4 games. So this is definitely doable. I think, and mind you, I could see this. I could see him getting like a 8.5, 8.8 or something like that. Year contract by 8, and I'd be okay with that. I think that would actually be acceptable. And then again, you're gonna free up some guys. You're gonna free up Backlund. You're gonna be able to sign Dubé and everything. The one thing is I think this Coleman contract you guys got to try and move, unfortunately, because the thing is you're paying Coleman for as a third line guy. You are paying him 4.9, bit expensive, buddies. So again, that to me is someone you try and, I don't know if you can buy him out. I don't know if he'd be cheap enough to buy out. I think that's probably your biggest move right there. Rasmus Anderson, I like this too. So again, you have some young guys. You have some exciting prospects. You guys they're not an old team. Their average age on their forward group is 26.9. So right in their prime. But they have some veterans. They have some guys coming up. Matthew Coronado. You have Dustin Wolf. You have these Jacob Potier, right? So there's some really good potential here. So I think they just need to focus on developing, getting their game back, and really playing well. And I think they can play playoffs. I think last year was a down year for Huberdeau. It was a down year for a couple people, but Huberdeau is your main focus. Get him back in his game. Get him up to a point per game player. Because if you can do that, I think that's going to be changing your whole dynamic. So I would go, like I said, Huberdeau. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think if Huberdeau can get his game back, that's right. By the way, this is how I do videos. It's just casual. We're just having a conversation here. So I think, we do. If Huberdeau can get his points back, he can probably bump another 20 points. Goes 55 to 75 points. That's easy. That's super easy. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think that they can make playoffs. Yeah, I think they're going to sneak in as a wild card. I think they can. Their division. My bad. Their division. If you go to their division and their conference, right? So you look at their conference right here. Colorado for sure and Dallas are going to take that one. Let's go to the division, actually. Let's go up to the division. Go by division. So if we go to the division, Vegas, Edmonton, LA, that's almost a gimme. I agree with those three being a gimme, especially with them getting Pierre-Luc Dubois, Oilers, Stanley Cup champion. Then you have the Oilers have McDavid, and you have the Kings have they just got PLCs, right? So, too far. Actually worked out well. So, and then the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, they're definitely better than the Winnipeg Jets. I think the Winnipeg Jets got worse, but I think that they have Hellebuck. So, what are you gonna do there? Kaprizov's gonna keep the Wild in this, right? But are the Flames better than the Kraken? I think so. If you can get like a Dustin Wolf or Markstrom or Vladar just playing phenomenal, I think their goaltending is definitely better. So I think they could power through that. I think Seattle was better than what they deserve. I think they have some good pieces, but I think that they're a little incomplete. So yeah, I definitely think they're better than Vancouver, better than the Sharks, better than the Ducks, right? In Vancouver, I don't know what you guys are doing. Go back to my Vancouver video. I'm lost, right? It's one of my first videos of the year, of the season. I'm lost, and I think they are too. So, anyways, Calgary Flames. Yeah, you're definitely better than the Kraken. You're getting in a wild card spot. Kraken fans, put it down here. Put it in the comments. Agree with me. We are going to the playoffs. Go Flames, man. Like I said, I'm excited. I think again, make small moves, keep your first round draft picks, and figure it out. Right, so figure out what you're gonna do. Just develop, get better, bounce back, and I can honestly see. I could see them being almost better. Okay, risk. This is a risk for me saying this. I think you can be better than LA. Not this year. Next year. I think the next year you can be better than LA or close to, pretty close to. Right? They had 104 points this year. Flames had 93. So I could see them definitely getting close to the LA Kings. So let me know what your thoughts are. Hit like, subscribe, and love you.